Okay, and we're started. Welcome to Sponsored by Nobody. This week, sponsored by Silence. It's lovely. Sometimes. It's February 2021, and you're listening to Leaves in the Jungle, Season 1, Episode 12. In this game, we will be using the Wildsea world setting and system. Okay, everybody. I'm Ian, and I'm playing the Firefly, and we have...
Austin playing Drock the Ardent.
Bev playing Illidan the Gao.
I'm Dylan playing Nick Attack, the spider dude.
Sorry, I was looking at my things. I'm Jonathan playing Rekatap.
the Ectus.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I am in this version of events.
I was on another tab and I clicked over and I saw all flat lines and was like, oh no, there's an audio problem.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, the audio problem is you speak.
Amazing. For the clever listeners, and by clever I mean all of you, because I'd be shocked for those who don't notice, we are playing our alternate characters this episode, which we haven't seen since they got spat out of a Leviathan. Yeah. So, last you guys were seen, as I said, you were spat out of a Leviathan, and you're on a river, which is a very weird and new thing for you guys, because there aren't many rivers in the Wildsea, and this is about 100 to 200 feet wide in, areas. So, while it's not a massive river by Jonathan's standards, it's definitely a lot bigger than any body of water you guys have probably ever seen. So, yeah, you're floating down this river under the eaves where almost nobody has ever explored. And we're going to do this session a little differently today because under the eaves is a little weird. So hopefully you guys enjoy our take of Under the Eaves. Who wants to start?
Oh boy, we're all really shy. Or polite.
I think that's the better one.
I mean, there's 4 Canadians here, so we might as well start with the rude American.
I mean, that's fair.
Whoa.
Sorry.
I've got like a deep... I didn't really come up with like...
Oh, I love this. Please make my wife and I 2 of your people.
We'd love to have you.
I'll get
Post-COVID.
How do you feel about double doubles?
I don't know what that means.
It means majority
Banned.
government.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anybody else, Rick Mercer? Is that too Canadian of a reference for millennials? Sorry.
So,
I'm lying, it's coffee.
so the water carries us just along this trail, and it's bizarre. It's not. I imagine it's not deep.
Yeah, it wouldn't be crazy deep, but if you want it to be deep, it can be.
Yeah, like it just meanders, and it's the weirdest thing. Like we're just on the water on a boat. Like it takes us a little while. I think Rekatap might actually get a little seasick because this is different from just being on being precariously hanging from the tree limbs by whatever saws and claws are between you and the limbs.
I must feel like the movement would be smoother than anything that we're used to, right?
Yeah, but like
Because I feel
smoother.
like the seasickness from the trees would be very like sharp and jagged almost, whereas this is like whoosh up and down, and we're just like, ooh, this is weird.
Yeah, but it's
Like
like
we're waiting for the drop.
yeah, or like the ship stops and it should stop, but oh boy, it just never ends. So the landscape is it's dark. It's like it's pitch black. There's no light out there, minus the occasional glint of something.
Plus
Not
Illusion being slightly bioluminescent.
oh yeah,
glowing,
yeah.
just a little
Like
bit.
some, I'm imagining some bioluminescence, maybe some fireflies. Occasionally, one of them detonates loudly.
Oh boy.
Illuminating something large in the distance constantly. Always
Yeah.
different.
We see another firefly swarm, but the colors are just slightly off. One of them detonates and reveals the face of the thing that is attached to all of the other things that are slightly discolored. It's catching them, probably eating them. It's not. It's fine. It's over there. It's not looking at us, guys. Just keep going. Keep going. As the landscape changes, though, and it becomes still grossly overgrown, but there are more regular shapes in the shadows. Poles that look like lanterns peek out from above the water, just the heads of them, and occasionally the ship actually like bumps into one and just kind of goes around it. I imagine the ship is made of hardier stuff than some of the old water vessels.
Yeah.
And
Jumping in, seeing that these are stiffer and
yeah.
enough to push us around, I'm going to snap one off and attempt to use it to like kind of pull us around safely, so we don't just keep spinning around and keep getting seasick.
But I feel like it's like no attempt to use it as like an oar. It's almost more like a like if you've seen like people use like sticks as like like rods.
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
like,
like
grab into
yeah,
the
straight up
riverbed.
just pulling along. Yeah, just poking and prodding,
No
just trying to
technique
stop it
for-
from spinning.
No technique for steering the boat.
Oh,
Yeah,
The
it's
whole like
because-
rocking the boat thing is like something that's probably making all of us go. "Eh."
but we're pointing straight still.
Yeah. So using that, we're able to stay the course. We're not bumping into things now. We're able to push off. Somebody else can grab a second one, and then we just kind of start sort of walking the boat along. And that's where we notice the reflection of one of the firefly detonations reflects off of glass, hidden by vines and just all kinds of overgrowth. There's shards caught in some of it. Like when glass breaks, it lands and just kind of sits there. Nobody's been here to clean up anything ever since the Wildsea overtook this place. But inside of those buildings, there's this regular sound. There's no telling what it is, and any light that's shown in it just casts shadows on something moving within. Turning the page.
Well,
If anyone wants to add anything.
let's tie off the boat and go investigate for sure. All these busted ass buildings. There might be some salvage, or at least maybe some like.
I feel like
sign
I'm trying to
of
think
the
if there's
people who
any way
came
that I can
before us,
naturally
right?
increase how much light I'm giving off.
Yeah,
Because
plus
it's just
if
like a
there's
dim
anything
glow,
still
right?
working here, odds are we could build something that could help us back up more than this little nano we got.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We should. I don't remember the voice I used for Recatap, so I'm just gonna use a slightly more gravelly voice. Yeah, that sounds like a
I don't know
pretty
if
good
you
plan. We
guys can
shouldn't
hear
really
me,
try to
but
overload
like
ourselves.
you're all
We
gray
need
and
to
I can't
eventually
hear
get
any of you. Oh, it just says
up.
lost connection to server, attempting to reconnect.
and they just point vaguely upwards.
Pull it over.
I'm going to pause for a second here because Bev's dropped on the call.
Oh,
So,
Oh no!
And no.
so
Well,
one
anyways.
sec. Okay, we're recording. We ended the last recording 2 minutes ago with you guys docking your little raft
Yeah.
at this shore. So take it from there.
Using a clever pulley system, using my grappling hook and a nearby smooth anchor point, I'm going to pull the boat onto shore so as not to be taken away.
Okay, yeah, there's plenty of smooth anchor points. We're still in the river, but it's just kind of flowing around and through this building. But the waters look like they've calmed down like on the inside. You know, we're not going to get carried away by the current or anything. Inside of the inside, we can see, like, once we get some light in there, there's some symbols on the walls that are like literally symbols. They're symbols, like, you know, and beside those, there's some
like those symbols.
Yeah,
The metal clangy kind, not the image conveying information kind.
correct. Now then, there are
Got
other
it.
symbols right next to those that are these little oval things with like little rods going up. Some of them have little flags, and there's just a bunch of those on the wall, all kind of in a row. I say kind of because some of them are a little higher than others, but none of them are directly above or below one or the other. All of them black, and there's a few bars between them, but they're like wavy. It's like a stylized. It looks real dumb. Like, we're like, what is that? That's garbage. That doesn't mean anything.
Sorry, it's a bunch of ovals that what?
Ovals that have rods
Uh-huh.
that go up. Some of those rods have a little flag, like a little line that goes off
Okay.
off the tip. And
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
I got
there
it.
you go.
and we quickly find the source of the is there's these figures that are kind of bopping back and forth. Their movement is stilted, probably just from years of lack of handling, or not handling, of maintenance. But they're definitely, like, one of them's holding this this black wand with like a large head on it, like a large round head thing on it that's like towards their mouth, and they're moving back and forth, like one hand in the air. They're like on a stage, maybe. Like, the water definitely gets deeper away from them, but and like in the water we can see the remains of brass poles that maybe once held some kind of like a red velvet rope, but that's long since gone away.
I feel like upon seeing like these moving creatures, I like pull out my sword before I just kind of stop and realize, like, okay, they're just staying there, like, because I'm surprised and I thought that they were alive,
They could be
and then I
ironbound.
realized they're not. It's
Some kind
true.
of ancient
Hold out my sword more.
ironbound.
How lit up is the area?
It's
That was
not.
your purpose.
Whatever
I
light
feel
we
like-
have is the light we have.
I feel like I'm the light we have, and is it just like completely ridiculous that in my mind I just imagine that I, like, upon realizing that we don't have enough light in here, I just kind of like take, you know, like my thumb, or the closest approximation to my thumb, and I don't even really have a mouth, but I just kind of like stick it in my mouth and kind of like just kind of like almost like I'm trying to blow air into my thumb, and it just kind of makes me glow a little more.
No, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Just full on.
Say that you declare your action.
Right?
I
I
demand
would've-
it.
I would have also accepted you cracking your knuckles and like then just glowing like a glow stick.
I have to shake first,
Literally
though.
glowing hands.
I like ask somebody if they can crack my spine, and then they do, and then I shake, and then
Oh my god.
Just jump
I
up
do
and
a
down a
little,
little
like,
bit.
you know, like wiggle out my foot kind of a thing, and I'm like, are we good? Is this good?
As the narrator, I'm saying that all of that happens. You like do the blow thing, crack your knuckles, and like shake your hands, and then you like point to your back, and you're like, "Hey, someone crack me," and we just know what you're doing.
I don't even
We're like,
have
"Yeah, okay,
spines or anything like that.
yeah." One of us just like, "Oh, we get it." Crunch, and you just wiggle a little bit, and we're like, "All right, there we go." And
I
yeah,
feel
it's
we've got like dim torchlight level, like torchlight, but like torchlight that's starting to burn out a bit. I think
okay.
that's kind of the level of light we have right now, like enough to see our
So-
immediate surroundings.
So it lights up enough to like there's like things on display on either side of what's clearly a walkway, and it's like some of them are like remains of animatronics that just didn't make it, or well, I should say some of the remains of like primitive Ironbound that just didn't make it. Some of them are like instruments on display. I mean, there's actual instruments that are like here, just in cases. But oh boy, don't touch those, because like when you get close to them, you can see faces looking back at you. Like, this place is haunted. This place is really haunted. There's ghosts everywhere. If anybody has that sight, there's ghosts everywhere. I don't know if we actually have an Ardent with us. In fact, I believe that was one of the things that we realized. We don't actually have an Ardent in the party.
No, Drock is an ardent.
Oh, is he? I thought.
I'm definitely an Ardent.
Okay. I thought I remembered.
But I
This is
do
awkward.
not. I do have the goggles.
You do? Okay.
So you,
The
I don't have
Pharaoh
true
type?
spirit sight. Yeah, I don't have true spirit sight. Like, so I don't have spirit sense, but I do have the goggles to make up for it. Jirok loves
I know.
his tools. He's got a tool for every situation.
Nice.
some might say he has a utility belt.
Utility. It's not just a belt. It's like a utility cloak. Imagine like one of those long, flowing like leather dusters, but like from Van Helsing, where it's just loops and buckets filled with bits all in the inside. I'm Hustler Kid, but with a wild.
Yes.
Yay! You made a
Awesome.
reference
You
to
buy it.
recess. Yay!
So, does the river lead like right up to the cases and stuff?
There's water all over the floor. Like wherever we're going, we're splashing, and like the water is flowing through here.
All right, so
It's just in a lazy fashion.
donning my goggles.
No, we lost Bev again. Oh, Bev, you're back. Nobody do anything for a second. Bev, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear
We're
everyone.
gonna run
You're
through
the one
really-
that I can hear for a second.
I'm
Okay.
talking now. Can you hear me? I'm gonna say no.
Bev,
I can hear
Bev,
you. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dylan, do you want to talk for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Bev, did you hear that?
Yep.
Okay. Jonathan, do you want to talk for a second?
I always do.
Bev,
It seems
did
to
you hear
still be
that?
working here. I didn't get an okay.
You're the only one that cut
Okay.
out for me, Ian. Everybody else
okay.
was kind of still continuing. You just kind of went gray for a second.
If we're all good, we're all good. We'll continue on.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
don on the goggles. What do I see along the floor and from those spooky faces everyone says they keep seeing in the glass?
So like all on the floor, like well, okay. What can you see on the floor? Like, or what are you looking for?
Because it's a pre-V relic area and it's down so far, I'd expect some. I've encountered like electrical currents before.
Okay. You can see electrical currents going into the animatronics that are still running, but you don't see anything like live wires that would hurt you in the water.
Okay.
I mean, messing with the animatronics might make that happen, but currently, as things are right now, it's fine. It's not me tricking you. Like Drock is pretty darn sure. Like, no, okay, we're good. We're good. We didn't mess up by coming in here. At least not because of that.
Could always use some motors to get us to make some rudimentary saws or pulley systems to start ascending.
Yeah, as he's saying that, the ghost that is currently wrapped around one particular guitar, in purple and emblazoned with symbols that you could never hope to read. Actually, do any of us speak Previ languages?
I don't think anyone does.
If anyone wants to, they can.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping them.
Drock's a delver and a dredger. I wouldn't say he can understand it per se, but he can get the gist of things from context. He makes an educated guess.
All right.
That's generally more right than other people have been.
The symbol that he reads is just the word slash.
See, he would recognize that.
Yeah. Like, why somebody would just write the word slash? Like, slash is clearly a verb. But
Maybe they use this as a weapon, considering what we have nowadays.
yeah, I mean it's like one of those like guitars that has like comes to like a point or something, but it's an instrument. Like all of our characters probably know what a guitar is.
It's
And,
clearly
like, the
instructions on how
Yeah.
to open the case. Illidan, get over there.
Bounce, bounce, bounce. What? Head up to the
Says
glass,
slash.
just like fully.
Yeah, I nodded the case. As far as I can see, the ghost isn't going to do anything. It's just watching.
Yeah, like just it is
I
just
find that almost
watching.
more disturbing.
Take the weapon of the
The,
Freevee age.
Yeah, the ghosts are looking at you with their just lidless eyes, no mouths to speak of. In fact, they're it's like human heads, eyes, and then like where a nose and mouth and stuff would be, it just kind of like caves in and then goes straight to neck. All of them have that. Every single one of them is like that.
I'm
rubies.
going to not look at them anymore. Goggles off. What? We should probably get out of here as fast as possible, but grab whatever you think we need. I don't like looking at what's hanging over there anymore. But should anything happen, I'll start looking at them again.
We all start to hear music.
I don't want to look at them again so soon.
But the sound is coming from further in.
Okay, we're good. What are we taking?
Oh gosh.
I mean, this seems like a treasure, but it might get these things riled up. Do you think we could safely get these motors out of there?
I think we can safely get the things. I don't know if we have enough time to take the motors out.
Do you think we could fit them on the raft? Oof.
Probably not.
All right.
We only have a nano still.
Serious, is there any, I mean, like, just looking around, glancing casually, is there anything else of note or interest in the immediate surroundings?
No, it looks like you're just in the entryway. Like you would, when this place was in its prime, you would walk in, you would see a guitar with the instructions slash written on it.
That's what it
There's-
says.
Yeah, there's some people dancing. Like, you know, they were wearing clothes. They are still wearing the tatters of clothes, but it's more mold than anything. You don't know this mold. It doesn't know you. It doesn't like any of us. It doesn't approve of our lifestyles. It's not very sun positive. Like, everything in here actually does, like, if it can shy away from the light, it does so.
Oh. I feel kind of rejected.
Like you see like a snake, like, no, and like go away. It might actually say no. It's hard to tell. This place is really haunted, guys. That music is actually getting closer.
Should we continue?
One of the
If we're not taking anything, we should probably just keep going on down the river and see what else we can recover or find.
I'm going to steal the
speaker
head
of
off
the
one of
pony
these
starts to crackle.
animatronics.
There's now electricity going to it.
Oh no.
Should we stay
I
here? or
reluctantly
should we
put my
leave to
goggles
escape
back on and start hurrying to the boat.
and follow?
Okay, like
Sword out
we-
and kind of
we-
flourishing.
we all get out of there safely. we didn't go to the menace place.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys continue floating down the river after your little bit spooky experience there. And, time goes by. It's hard to tell under the eaves whether it's day or night, but you can tell that time is going by as you float down this lazy river. Who wants to go next?
I got kind of more like a detail than like a scenario kind of a thing, but I feel like
That's the start. Go for it.
In the sections of the river that are maybe a little bit wider and a little bit deeper, like at first, like we noticed that there's just a lot of floating pieces of fallen foliage in the river, like branches and leaves and stuff that, like sometimes logs that are just kind of floating in there. And then at one point, just looking out, kind of think that did one of those logs like move and like swish a tail or something? And now in the dim light, you're wondering, are they all just plants floating in the water, or is there also things that look like plants floating in the water? But it's way too dim to make any kind of educated guess. And you're almost like, I feel like for me, like, Illidan is almost in that place of, I'm going to live in denial until reality forces me to do otherwise. Don't stick your hand in the water.
Rekatap will ask after a while, like, hey, do some of these, are some of these logs, like, flashing red to you all?
Flashing red?
Yeah, like, yeah. Watch that one, and as we go by, just like a glint.
What kind of a glint? Like, is it like a bright light, or is it like eyes glinting, or like, what do you...
Like it's glinting off of your, pale luminescence. Like, off of Illidan's pale luminescence. Rekatap's like, I know what eyes look like in the dark. I don't like that.
Well, we just won't go near those ones that are definitely plants that I don't want to interact with. As much as
I'll
I'm so
definitely try to
curious stick my
avoid
hand in the water.
pulling into them. Now that they've been pointed out, they may not just be plants.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there is definitely some fallen tree debris in this river.
Ooh.
You're just not sure which is tree debris and what might be something else.
And with the introduction of some of those deeper parts, the river starts to pick up speed and becomes a little more windy. Start to go downwards a bit more.
Ooh.
I feel like I immediately start like freaking out, like, like when you're a little kid and you go like rafting or something like that, and it's like, it's not even a real rapid, but because you're little and this is the first time you've ever experienced anything like that, you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, it's terrifying. We're in whitewater rapids, but it's like just like bloop, 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 bloop. Very mild.
I think it's kind of like how when automobiles were really becoming a thing, a lot of people got in accidents with them because they were used to riding horses. And horses will do things like not walk off a cliff. Whereas with cars, you have to push the brake to stop it from going over, like, or like into a ravine or something. Not a ravine, like a ditch or whatever. And like it's like that, where we're used to being able to be like, let's stop the ship. And the ship stops. But there's just no stopping this. So like as it's getting faster, we're like, how do we stop this thing?
We're like taking like the stick and like trying to like poke it in the front of the water. But like, it just kind of like makes the boat like swerve off to the side of the stick.
Yeah, like...
And then turns us around and it's like, no, stop, bad!
or like there's that like impossible question of like, do we stay towards the middle and avoid those things over there? Or do we try to get more towards the edge so that we can, throw a line out to a tree and stop ourselves if we need to? What do you all think?
We let it go.
I was wondering, like, do we just abandon the boat? Well, Illidan. Is it really necessary for us to stay in this thing? Like, should we just start climbing? I mean, I don't know why we need to stay at this level.
When you suggest climbing out, you can hear all of a sudden just noises in the trees. They're not pleasant noises.
Never mind.
I make more unpleasant noises.
Well, this water has to lead somewhere. All rivers have to lead to a low point.
How would you know
He says
that?
with no knowledge.
How do you know these
I mean, we
things
know-
don't go up?
We've been going down this whole time.
We probably know about like basic plumbing. So like water goes down.
That's fair.
We know how rain functions.
Yeah. like
The
it ha-
rain doesn't
like,
get
it's-
channeled by ravines.
it's kind of reasonable to be like, eventually this has to stop eventually, right?
Also, in a pipe, if you get enough water pressure, water will go up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's a loud noise ahead of us, getting louder and louder.
I don't
we should
like
definitely
that.
pull up.
I don't like this. I don't like those things that are definitely logs and branches.
And there's
don't
definitely
like
a
any of
fog
it.
bank ahead of us for some reason.
Great.
There's definitely a what in front of us.
And as we
fog bank.
Oh, sorry,
is
what?
anyone doing anything?
So do we
no.
want
A fog
to
bank.
do we want to go
Steering
over
our
the
vision
waterfall?
ahead of us.
Do we want to go over the waterfall, or do we want to go through the waterfall?
How
Um,
steep the waterfall is?
As we
Where the angle's gotten pretty steep now, we're going down like a water slide almost on the boat, heading right towards the fog bank.
um
And I'm
Recognize-
frantically trying to pull away from the giant things in the way.
I'm almost
Rekatap's
looking like,
gonna-
are there vines or something that I can just grab and just yeet myself out of the boat?
No.
Rekatap's gonna start trying to like pull off to the side.
With what?
Well, don't we have a pole?
Yeah,
Anybody
yeah. You just
have a grappling hook or similar?
It has
At
been
the-
established that we do have a grappling
I
hook.
immediately stopped pulling. You called for my grappling hook.
Yes!
What do we want to do with this? As the fog bank gets closer and we're about to pass through it.
I feel like
We
just
need to get
anchor.
over there.
Yeah, pull the boat to a shore.
Looking over, I see a giant steel wheel, and I manage to snake the grappling hook through it. And instead of stopping us, it turns wildly for a bit and snapping, and we go through the fog bank to
Nice.
what appears to be a wide pond area with speakers all around producing this noise. And giant fans with producing mist on either side of it, producing the giant fog bank that we thought was the waterfall.
So
The water just seems to drain off in little tributaries off to the side, but it continues on deeper inside what appears to be some buildings.
Okay.
So wait, so it's just kind of a big open expanse, or
Yeah, kind of like imagine like an inlet clearing, right?
Yeah.
So you know where you had the entrance at the beginning. This would be like the log ride as you get to explore the rest of the facility or park.
Yeah. Rekatep's like, hey, let's have a little look around here.
There's a lot of paths you can see on the shore.
there?
and
Yeah,
other
there are dry
even
shore
boats
paths.
sunken on the edge. Yes.
I vote I'm all for somewhere solid and not whooshy.
Yeah, I could use a break from this.
I don't like it.
The water is slightly greenish, though. Maybe don't touch it with your hands.
I'm sure it's fine. Nothing's wrong with a little
Yeah.
green.
Is there somewhere we can?
This
like,
water's
cut it
not
off
as
of it?
fast flowing. Yeah, there's a little dock off to the side that Draw can see. Kind of pushing us off.
Really quick, Dylan, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Oh no!
Can
Dylan,
you not-
did we lose Dylan?
I can hear.
hadn't
All,
heard him in a little while. I was worried.
I can hear all of you.
Dylan?
Oh, he's typing.
Oh.
Okay, we can't hear you.
I
Well,
can hear
that's
y'all.
just-
Okay, we can't hear you. That was my concern. Okay, I will pause this one and restart a new one.
That'll be that. Okay, that'll work.
Okay, 1 sec. Okay, gonna start the recording, and then this time I'm gonna start. Austin, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Dylan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Jonathan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Bev, can you hear me?
Yo.
Okay. So you guys were landing. Go from there.
Yeah.
I
feel like as soon as I recognize, does it look like there's anything immediately dangerous?
Not at all. Actually, from what you can see, it's remarkably not overgrown here. The plants are just, 8 feet high. Normal. I can't say normal trees. We don't know what normal. Our normal is different than what this normal is. But there's a bunch of small trees around, plants, shrubs. This giant 90-foot pond inlet area.
Okay. Well, I just immediately, with gusto, eagerness, and flourish, jump off the boat onto dry land, and I'm yes. Just
Grass
curious,
feels weird.
grass feels, grass would be new. The plants and the shrubbery in the area, are these how overgrown are these, or are they still kind of manicured as they would be?
They are perfect, as if time has not touched them a day.
I feel like this fully fascinates me, and I go to the closest shaped plant, and I'm just
elephant-shaped shrubbery.
Sure, yeah. I'm just kind of
oh, I didn't think about topiaries. Yeah, there's topiaries of beasts everywhere. Beasts
right?
you do not recognize.
I just kind of go up to one and just that kind of curious but delicate and tentative, almost kind of trying to pet the leaves, just to the shape is just fascinating. I'm just what is
it's leathery, hard, and cold.
I touch it a little more deeper, with a little more wait, what?
Drock's watching from the dock, tying off the boat, noticing the holes starting being eaten through it. Just kind of walks away. Well, we're not going back that way.
There are holes being eaten through the boat. Good to know.
Holes being eaten in what?
The boat.
Oh.
I look back, see the boat dying, and I'm I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little okay that that's no longer an option. Because I wouldn't have liked that. But anyway, I go back to the plant, and I'm I kind of reach out and one of the leaves, just fully kind of press it between my fingers to observe it more deeply.
It's, upon closer inspection, it's kind of shiny along the center and the edges.
Okay, now I'm fully sticking my fingers in the branches and the twigs, trying to identify this.
It's all kind of the same. And then you notice that when you rub your hands along the center stuff, the paint kind of flakes off.
I just kind of turned to everybody I have no idea what kind of plant this is, and I don't think it is.
There's a bunch of tunnels, you notice, and beyond all the trees and shrubs with different symbols above with the flags and strokes that Gomez or Rekatap had found before.
Weird.
All dark, creepy.
Some kind of fake plant? Why would they put that here?
Why would you need to fake a plant?
Right?
Right? And what is the shape?
Maybe plants were rare before the Verdancy?
What does it do?
I notice a bunch of small buildings in the distance as well. After I say, I see you noticed the pre-verdancy addiction to mimicking plants.
But why would you need? Did they not have any?
Not a clue. I found
like,
them in some other
grab like a sprig of
rift
this
that's
and I just
raised
like
up.
yank it from the rest of the plant. Like I just have like a fistful of like small leafy plastic branch.
That's not how plastic works. You end up tearing off a large branch.
Okay, sure.
You've tried tearing off plastic
I
before.
tried.
That's not how it works.
Well, I figure if it's like a thin enough, like just like a little twig part, and if you got it at the right angle, you could.
Yeah,
Depends-
you would think
it's
that,
also
but when
very
you
old
grab
plastic.
the leaves, the stems kept the shape. There might be something like wire-like inside the stems.
I like grab my knife and I like work it off, like I cut it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna call you over because you're our only source of light.
Yay! I'm useful down here.
And I'm tired. It's scary
I'm
hanging
also
on the edge
just
of the
like
darkness.
loving that I am the only source of light here.
What do I notice the other two doing?
I think Rekatap is curious about those buildings over there. He's not leaving the group, but he will range ahead a little bit.
Yeah. There would be no point in going too far away because, again, we only have one torch for the whole group.
Hello. My name is
But-
Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. I'm feeling a little bit sketched out about this place. It's definitely got the creepy, something's probably going to try and eat you in about 5 seconds vibe, whether or not it actually will. And so I'm just going to be holding my crossbow at the ready, like skirting around the outside, making sure that nothing's about to, announce its presence.
Ready in action to declare a social faux pas on whoever lives down here.
Was Illidan joining back up with us?
Oh yeah.
Up ahead, once we get closer, it's basically like a ring surrounding what looks to be a metal fountain. A ring of small, like, building/kiosks, as we understand them. Who's behind?
If we just need an answer, I'll say Rekatap ends up falling behind just to watch our backs.
I feel like I
Okay.
need to be in the front.
Okay.
I'm the light.
As soon as the last person crosses the line, the sound cuts off from the speakers, and there's like little shorts and zaps, and then it's like lights appear all around in all the kiosks.
Rekatap jumps. Like, oh!
Fully like a sword out in front of me. Like, what is that? What's going on? Looking around wildly, trying to find an enemy to slay.
Yeah. We're under attack as far as we know.
Yeah.
Inside each of them are the animatronic, or some like robots that we saw earlier. But these,
Ironbound.
yes, but these ones are like, they seem to be shopkeepers, but only from the waist up. They can't leave. And there's walls of like molding hangers, what seems to be like orbs, maybe the remnants of something that was organic, some shiny, what seems to be something of the similar material we found earlier, with symbols written on it across the front, all laid out on another one, stuff like that all around.
Okay.
Box of Twinkies, just like the day they were made.
Right.
There could be. I can only see into a few of them at close range, and he put out, and the goggles reveal that there's ghosts inside each of the ironbounds.
I cautiously approach one of the orbs because I'm curious.
You can dust it off, and yeah, it's with a little bit of dusting, it's actually beautifully clean. Like it was just a little bit of dust and a little bit of mold on top. Like it's glass, and inside is a well, you know what a snowman is, I guess. You've probably seen a snowman before. There's a snowman inside. And
Usually that means cannibals are around.
Rekatap gets his axe ready.
and like if you like quickly move it, like because you startled by the snowman inside, you can see like sparkles go all around it as it like glitters in your light.
I poke it, and then when it doesn't do anything terrible, I assume, I like
Nope.
kind of like just like pick it up, and I see like the little bits shifting inside. And if I had eyes, they go wide, and I just go, whoa, and I just kind of like turn it around, and I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, look at this. It's so magical. I'm totally mesmerized now by this little thing. I've still got like the plastic sprig thing in my hand, and I'm just like, now I'm full tourist, like, souvenirs, guys. Oh my gosh, we should keep this to commemorate this trip.
Since snowmen are considered a totem for cannibals, Rekatap's like, that's really pretty. Kind of in poor taste, but like, I'm not complaining.
It's the dualism, it's symbolism. This is clearly some deep art.
Yeah.
Of an ancient realm that understands that with darkness there is beauty.
I'm not going to disagree.
It is chaotic, but also contained. It's beautiful.
Are those metal ducks?
Where?
And
I'm pocketing things. I've got. I'm fully this snow globe is in my bag. So is the plastic sprig. I'm digging this place a little bit.
Rekatap will also loot.
Drock finds like a rusted and like mold, like dry rotted airsoft rifle, like the old spring-loaded ones that they used at the carnivals.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Wang.
He picks that up from the duck thing.
Actually, Rekatap says, "Hey, come look at this." And he's standing in front of a like a monolith made out of plastic. Like we all know what plastic is.
I do now.
And he's looking at it, and there's like a little red dot, and like the kind of like lower right-ish corner or area.
Yeah.
And there's just a bunch of like things and like squares and circles on it, and little arrows and little symbols. Like one of them is like a head with a triangle and two little rectangles at the bottom, a bar, and then on the other side of it is like a head or like a circle with like a bar and then two little bars. And those are sprinkled all over the place. And he's like, "Look, I think it's a map."
Yeah, looking at it closer, it's very clearly some kind of ancient chart.
A chart, you say?
Chart? Did any of us have any whispers?
Thinking about whispers.
It whispers.
Where did Nick attack Slick off to? Looking around.
I got a whisper for you. You guys suck.
Oh no! Jesus! As he pops around from the other side of the
Suddenly
statue.
a vacuum. No, I'm kidding.
That'd be a really good whisper.
I spent the last 10 minutes arguing with an animatronic shopkeeper, but it turns out that he wouldn't take my money, and I couldn't figure out why. I tried bartering literally everything I had in my inventory up to and including the things that I had just picked up from like right beside him.
Skyrim style.
Hearing this, I bring out some of my old. I go start sifting through my bag, and I pull out a. It looks like patterned canvas, a few sheafs of them, and I say, "Try giving him these." It's old. I think it's old Privy money. I found it in what they call the vault, using one of my charts on one of my expeditions. It seemed useless, but it's light, so I carry it around as a good luck charm.
I just kind of like take one, and I just kind of like you know that thing where you got money and you just kind of like in out, and just kind of like pulling it, taunt, and it's just like, what is it? I like try to bite it.
Just go buy what you're trying to buy.
Rekatap like puts his hand on.
I gently fold one and I put it on the spot where I took the snow globe from, and I walk away.
Yeah, but Rekatab like walks away from the monolith, and he approaches this thing that's kind of sunken into the ground over time. And he says, "I know what this is." And he takes his axe, he raises it over his head, he brings it down, just breaking the glass. And then he pulls out a plastic bottle, and he turns the cap and opens it up. Takes a few sips, and he's like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
What is
Oh
it?
no.
What did you find?
He like shows it. He's basically got like Code Red, or like a bottle of Code Red.
I go up to him and I'm like, what is that?
It's a drink dispenser.
Oh my god.
It's a drink dispenser.
After
I have drink dispensers here.
I look. Oops, sorry. Like you've broken it open.
Yeah.
Okay, I reach in and I grab a random bottle, and I crack it, kind of like you did, and I just kind of look, and I go to drink it, and like, as I'm swallowing, but like, you know, like it only lasts like about 3 seconds, and then just stops abruptly. All my like kind of orangish, burnt red, glowing spores, they all just kind of like have like a Technicolor light show, and then it stops.
Does it stop, or does it just even back out?
Yeah, it turns back, like, it's basically, in the amount of time it took it to swallow and go down to my stomach, it just kind of, like, toggled through all the color options that I didn't know I had, and then goes back to default. And
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
that's fun. I keep drinking it. It keeps occasionally just kind of, like, strobing until I finish, and then I just chuck the bottle.
Nice RGB. Does it make you play the game better?
Gosh darn tootin' it does.
Oh man,
I feel powerful and pretty.
I have another story about that. Remind me to tell you the story about my wife's laptop later.
So,
Later.
what did
he-
Nick Attack recover from the kiosks?
Well, I mean, like, I was planning on getting into a fight with a vending machine, but Rectap was already like way ahead of me on that one.
Murders it in front of your eyes.
So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna pay one of the animatronics, and in exchange for his head.
That animatronic, as you hand him some money, he takes it from you, and he says thank you. And then as you take his head, he goes, "Pleasure doing business with you," from the head you're carrying.
I'm just gonna smile and be like, "Yeah, you too, bud."
I'm gonna name you Wilson.
Yeah, just like tucking him under my arm, right? Like I'm like, "Oh, this is great! Like we're bros now." I didn't
Best
realize
purchase he's ever made.
Yeah, right. Finally, someone that won't judge me.
Traded some pocket-sized artwork for an entire pre-V artifact.
I mean, like someone that wouldn't judge me that I don't also judge.
Somebody who you respect who doesn't judge you.
Yes, exactly.
After having seen all these people scurrying off to cause havoc with these kiosks.
This wasn't a kiosk that Rekka broke. It was just a vending machine.
I'm going to be examining the chart more. I'm going to use my wholehearted to kind of understand it a bit more, so I can figure out where the quote-unquote exit would be, or the next junction point would be. Because I know I see a lot of different paths leading off.
You guys you're able to read it okay.
Interpret it.
Yeah, interpret it is probably a better word. And, I mean, you can kind of, now that some of the lights are coming on, you can see some, paths and markers going in different directions. And you guys follow it through just an assortment of weird areas. All sorts of things and stuff. There's one with, like, full animatronic, iron-bound, just dancing, and they're all animals that you don't recognize, but they're the animals that those plants were out of, so clearly whoever was here before liked them. Who knows? Another area has just birds, normal birds, not Wildsea birds. And they're all like stuffed on trees, and they have little voice boxes in them that are like tweeting. And
I
yeah,
immediately take the cardinal.
That's fair.
When we pass, one of them's like, "Well, hello there." Welcome to, but it's in pre-V language, so
yeah.
Drock saying, "I know somebody who'd love this."
Perfect. And you guys go through another area, and there's a ghost just standing there in some kind of like fancy looking clothes, and they kind of gesture to you to follow them, and they start talking in some pre-V language that you don't understand. Yeah, oh yeah, you guys can all see this. This is this spirit, this ghost is one of the ones that like has hardened in this world. Yeah, they aren't able to communicate with you because they're speaking a pre-V language, but you get the gist that they want you to follow them, and they don't seem that scary. So you guys follow it for a little while, and it kind of, you can see it's like pointing at things and using words you've never heard of, and it just takes you around in an exact circle and then stops where you guys met it and just waves at you. And just stands there, like waiting.
I think
tour guide.
At some point we
you spend your eternity as a soul as a tour guide for it.
At one point during that tour, we walk by doors. The doors open because like the automatic doors still work, and there's like there's a room that was like a cafeteria at one point, but like the roof caved in, but all the ghosts are still where they were.
Yeah.
And like we could see them like through the rubble all at once look at us. And then the tour guide just leads us on, and we just leave that room.
Yeah, if you guys stick around here for a minute, like where this guide kind of stopped and is kind of just staring at you, like he looks just as confused as you guys are as to why you're still standing there or why he's still standing there. And after a few minutes, another one shows up, and they talk to each other, and then that one leaves, and this one just stands here staring at you.
All right.
Like they're dressed in the same, outfit.
I look around. I have no memory of this place.
Should we give it some of the random of your little art currency?
I'm not giving it any of my bubble water, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, that shit's good.
Yeah, hell no, dude. Like,
are we
let's
not
be
clear
real.
on this? I can't remember.
Like,
I'm pretty
Rekatup's replaced his food with that.
Like, I'm pretty sure that we all now have the business plan of going back to the service and recreating bubble water and exporting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're all like, we're gonna be hella rich, dog.
It's funny because cola is actually really easy to make. Don't tell Coca-Cola I told you that.
Going over my mental map, there should be an exit here somewhere. It says it's in this room. And I start looking around, and I see a collapsed metal staircase off to the side in the center. Spiraling upwards.
You guys can go up.
Up is good.
You guys...
Look at our spider bro. Do you mind scouting ahead and placing an anchor point for a climb up?
Yeah, sure. I just have to visit the little spider's room first. I will be right back.
Okay.
I just
Not
that, and I pick up my glow ball, and I'm just like arbitrarily staring at my little thing, and I'm like, that just raises a lot of questions. Yes, it does, little glow ball. Yes, it does.
Can you guys hear me? Oh, for cripe's sake.
Are you actually going?
I think he actually.
I think he is gone. Okay. We'll take a second here.
Real life
Little
No.
They're
Just
all
a room
little.
full of spiders.
Ah!
Yeah, I recovered a cardinal thing.
Did
A
you
room full of
find the
spiders who all
fi-
a room full of spiders who all stop what they're doing and look at you.
Wait, oh wait.
That's in the side room.
Did he say, oh no, it
Oh
died
no, my
again?
thing died again.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, yes, I can. I
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear us. We try talking. Oh. Okay. Okay. So we'll stop the recording here.
Oh my.
Oh, he's been talking the whole time.
Well, we heard most of that up until the point where you said I need to go to the little spider's room, and then it perfectly cut off.
You went to the bathroom.
Excellent. Okay. Hold up. I'm gonna stop it here.
Literally,
That's worst time.
the task failed successfully. Oh god.
That was beautiful.
Hold up.
But actually, no.
So stop the recording, and then we just refresh after it
No,
downloads?
don't hit refresh. Just wait. Start.
Kind of.
Okay. So just checking. Austin, can you hear me?
Yes.
Dylan,
I hear
can
1
you hear
through
me?
5.
Hell yeah.
Bev, can you hear me?
In the tiki.
Jonathan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So we're all. Did everybody hear everybody?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
More than I
Round
wanted
4. Round 4. Here we go. As Nick Attack builds that rope ladder for you guys easily climb up and find yourselves on top of this new area with like platforms around you and what looks like boats or vehicles or something. You guys end up picking the one with this strange white bird. It's still pristine clean. It has 6 seats, so just enough room for you guys, plus a little extra. And it's got these bars that like are above your head that like swivel to go in front of you for some reason. Whatever that does. But whatever, you guys take it, and as soon as you get on it, you hear this kind of an. Go ahead.
Can I interject the thing because
You're not in the water just yet.
it's not getting in the water. It's getting in the
Okay.
boat that I wanted to.
Okay.
address.
Okay. Go ahead then. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. But first, I need somebody to pick a number between 6 and 16.
14.
12.
I'm going with 14 because it's funner.
Okay.
So remember how we were talking about before how some of those log things look like they might kind of be alive and we were in vehement denial?
I would prefer not to, but yes.
So as we approach to get into the boat, one of those possibly alive logs is in it. It is a 14-foot nose to tail long. It is just a straight up crocodile alligator. It's they have everything else because of the verdancy had to adapt. These did not at all. They just straight up stayed alligators. They have not evolved. They have not changed. Their legs are still stubby. Their backs are still wriggly. They still got them mouths. It's just a straight up Florida, in the boat, just kind of taking a nap. And now it's looking at us, and it's kind of like, this is my boat, bitch.
I'm like,
Can't improve on perfection.
Right? It has not changed at all.
like,
I won't lie, the level of foreshadowing right now, and that's all I'm gonna say.
just
Oh, no.
sealing this scaly log sitting inside of what is now our boat. I compare it to what I've seen up until this point on the seas in my 42 years, and I want one.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
Like, it doesn't seem venomous. I see no spines. And as far as I can tell, it can't jump 40 feet in a single bound.
Yeah, we look at it. It looks at us. It doesn't move.
I have no urge to kill this thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
It's a living relic of the past.
it's
almost,
ours.
Yeah, can we have it?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna ride it. I ride it.
Well, wait. Did somebody try to approach it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It fully big mouth just like I'm assuming your foot went in first, snaps around the foot, like just full jaw clamp on the foot.
I'm gonna give it a giant wang on the head with this large animatronic best friend I have. And just be like, wham! Just club him right between the eyes and be like, good job, buddy. Like, we're making a great team already.
The animatronic head goes, excellent, bye, sir.
Thank you for your patronage.
Yeah, exactly.
This creature having now been whacked on the head, I mean, like, it's never felt a need in terms of its evolutionary stages to have an intelligence level that could comprehend things like dumbfounded. But suddenly it feels the need to experience these emotions, and it can describe these emotions as, what just happened? What just happened? And then it goes to try and nom on the head. So it's the animatronic head.
So,
wait, Dylan, are you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm just waiting.
Okay.
Illidan just is kind of watching this going, ha, what an adorable new friend you've had. That's right, it's got a toy.
when it bites the head, and the head's being too hard for it to bite through, I immediately react and shoot my grappling hook to wrap its mouth around it tight, and jump on its back and cover its eyes.
Does it still have the animatronic head in its mouth as you do this?
That's how the only way I'm going to keep its mouth closed.
Okay, so yeah,
You mean
so
open?
now you fully... Okay.
Yes.
So have you seen The Rescuers Down Under, I think is what I'm thinking of, when he, like, at the beginning when he tries to hog tie and, you know, bareback ride a bucking lizard?
Yep.
That is what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just picture Drock like riding the back of this and like shutting down its eyes so it can't see, and I'm just like feeding it shots in the gut. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, you came to the wrong you came to the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm just like literally like handling its face.
What you said shots
like
in
my
stomach.
my fist.
Oh, okay, yeah. It is confused, it is scared, it's also kind of loving this a little bit because it's been kind of bored, but it is going for a ride, but as you do this for a while, if nothing changes, and if it can't break free, it's going to get exhausted.
That's good.
Okay, so yeah, so
we knocked it out.
Yeah, it's well, no, it's not knocked out, but it just kind of reaches a point where it's just kind of tired, and it's just kind of like a little bit like it hasn't like accepted and like it doesn't love you like yet, but like it's just kind of reached this point, you know, like with a cat when it's like, you know, like it's had its like angry, zoomy, attack everything phase, but now it's starting to run out of energy, but it's still got the ball, so it's just kind of got, you know, like its jaw around the ball and it's still kind of like half-heartedly kicking with its back foot with the claws clamped at the front. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the alligator with the head kind of at the base of the boat, and now you guys can get in the boat if you want.
Yeah, oh yeah, we capture it.
Oh yeah.
Using crap. Gotta get used to these names. Between Nick Attack and I, we fashion a harness out of silk and a grappling hook to maintain control and recover the head.
Oh no, it wants the head. The head is its toy. Don't take the head.
Don't do that.
You try to take the head, it snaps at you again. It's
captured a free V crocodile.
As it's just nomming on this head, you just hear the head being like, excellent purchase. All my wares are good. Enjoy shopping here.
It can't get enough leverage to put enough pressure to crush it.
But is there an off switch or a battery we could address?
It can't snap all the pressure down, so it's just stuck.
Yeah. She's kind of almost purring now, just like with her toy. She's happy.
As you guys get into this swan boat, or bird boat, because you guys don't know it's a swan.
A noble creature.
Yeah. Such a beautiful, majestic.
Elegant, noble. And by the way,
environment.
I'm fully like Illidan is like fully like heroic, standing, you know, like one hand around the neck, up at the front, you know, like kind of like you know, like if you're watching like an old classic movie and somebody who's like on the ship, like haha, You know, like that's how I'm riding this thing. Up in the front.
Excellent.
Lighting
Well,
the way, hand on the hip. If I had
also
teeth, they'd be
convenient.
shining.
That there's fans on the side blowing the fake trees around, which just gives you so happen a blowing mane.
Oh, it's beautiful. I don't even have hair, but I do.
Your bristles sing in the wind.
I just kind of picture it more as like Glorby Goop, kind of off the side that kind of runs off and kind of looks like a dashing haircut. But, you know.
As she
Nice.
majestically gooped in the wind.
You know what? I'll throw it my fanfic.
Yeah, you guys.
Like a fap sound.
You
Said it, not me.
You guys get on the boat, and it starts going. All of a sudden, you can hear this like as if something turns on it, and you can hear this like clunk, 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 as it starts rolling down these tracks, and it makes it a little ways, and you guys kind of go past a few different things, and then all of a sudden you hear just like a clunk and a splash as you get back onto the river, and you clearly see the tracks behind you have broken off, and you're just floating down the river again.
I regret not bringing my pole.
Yeah, really.
Just guys, did we plan a way to steer this thing or stop it if we just got in another boat with no plan?
It's casually drifting around to the left in an anti-clockwise direction.
Can we let that thing drive? Is that a way that we can do this? Pointing at the crocodile.
I mean,
I'm not going to say no.
What color is the water?
if you guys put a rope on the crocodile,
I did say we made a harness with
we
spider silk and
carry it
rope.
and stick
guys-
with the electronic head.
Yeah. If you guys can't put the electronic stick on, or the electronic head on a stick, and put it out above the boat, this crocodile will swim for it. And
Oh my god, we
do it.
amazing.
Yay!
We're so intelligent.
I am so happy. I totally planned this crocodile. I'm like, oh man, I have no ideas. What if crocodiles are still fine? And then just have it being I don't know, minor obstacle.
So between
I'm so happy.
between all of us, are we able to recover the head without anyone losing bits? And the mouth getting closed safely again?
oh yeah.
You say
Yeah,
that with a confidence that I don't have.
You guys are very competent and surprisingly stronger than this alligator.
Oh yeah, we're not people anymore.
Yeah.
I feel where the crocodile kind of bites me, I just kind of get indentations that just sort of back into place as soon as the teeth are gone.
Love it's they never evolved or haven't adapted. We did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys are used to much more dangerous things.
Um,
Again, foreshadowing the crocodile.
Why?
I love it.
I didn't mean to.
Man, I know that we just got it, but if anything happens to this crocodile, I will kill everyone and then myself.
I know, that's why. There's a little part of me that's
That's
do I
the
just mean this crocodile? No, I'm not that mean.
It's a pact. Let's do this.
oh man. So as we lazily spin down the river,
I'm just kind of sitting there, watching this crocodile going, should we name her or something?
I guess Nickatak is a spider folk.
Yeah. Switching to the next person for our little story epilogue as you guys go, or story, not epilogue because it's not a post thing. Anyway, just our story adventure as you guys go down this river.
Side quest.
Yes, our story side quest. Who's next?
I believe it is Nickatak leading the way.
So as we're trying to harness one crocodile power, there's some rustling in the bushes nearby, and there, just as Drock, he notices the sound and something whistles by his head at high speed.
I look up and back to where it came from.
Yeah, that means it was by all of our heads at high speed. What's over there?
Yeah, you see like something black. It looks like a shell of a bug or something else like that, and you can see a long stick poking out from where it's sitting over in the bushes. You can't see it very well, but just as you noticing it, and you're like, oh, what the hell is that? Like, is that armor, or is it a form of clothing, or is it that the actual creature itself? And another dart whizzes by you.
We're taking fire from the riverbank. They're sending those darts 100 feet. What the hell? I shoot a blast arrow back towards one of the sticks using my manifold bow.
You hear like a yelping, I guess, like a chittering or a scuttling noise as it crashes away through the bush. It sounds pretty large. Or maybe multiple creatures.
I fully pull out like my sword and over to the edge of the boat and just kind of like brandish it, and I'm like, "Show your faces, you cowardly knaves!" That's all I got.
That's fair.
I fully taunt it. Into
basically like the head of a centipede or a millipede, like you know those really big black, ugly looking ones.
Oh, the rounded ones.
Yeah, and they've got like the horns on them, you know what I mean? So you see this big horny thing, except that instead of the two giant horns on it, it has two very long like protrusions that look like basically like blowguns set into its face. And it like kind of like it, as you taunt it, Illidan, it just it like rears up on the edge of the bush, and then like it's like looking at you, and you're looking at it, and you feel safe for about 2 seconds, and then it just shifts forward into the water and starts creepily swimming towards you in that like undulating snake pattern.
Oh my god, get the crocodile out of the water.
Yeah, I was gonna say, protect our new friend! I kind of like just start like pulling up the rope and like trying to like get this crocodile into my arms.
I'm frantically going to be shooting volt arrows into the water behind it. Or whenever its head pops up, I'm going to shoot a volt arrow at it. With my dragonfly providing support. This is not no bueno. I'm panicking. I've never seen one of these before.
Yeah, it manages to get about halfway to the boat while you're like peppering it with shocks, and every single time you hit it, it sort of just like shakes itself off and sinks a little bit into the water as it like loses its ability to swim and its momentum, and then it like picks itself back up and starts like scuttling back out. And by about like the fourth or fifth time you've shot it, you're like, oh my gosh, like, am I even hurting this thing, or is it just starting to enjoy this?
I need help.
Rekatap has his axe at the ready.
Am I at all becoming successful at retrieving our crocodile?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Okay.
Again, you are much stronger than it ever suspected.
Safely get crocodile back at the boat?
Oh, yeah, you can just hold it in your arms if you want. Like, it's much bigger than you, but you can hold it in your arms. Yeah.
It's just a baby.
Yeah.
A huge baby.
It's okay.
You know people who have like 200-pound dogs and how they let them sit on their lap and they just like snuggle them? That's you with this crocodile.
Okay. I gently like give the crocodile the toy, and I wrap him up and I put him in the bed, and I'm like, okay, gotta go fight a thing now. You stay there. And then I go over to the front of the ship, and I'm like now like kind of like hanging out, like reaching out from the front of the ship, like holding onto the neck of the swan, sword out, just kind of like ready to stab anything that comes close.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the centipede grabs the edge of the swan, probably mistaking it for its normal size of prey, and rears over the edge of the boat into a flurry of sword stabbings.
Yep.
Rekatap beats it head on, having actually had to deal with multiple sword stabbings in the past.
Wait, it's using the swords to stab at us?
No.
No, you're using
I'm
sword.
stabbing it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I got. Yeah.
I heard centipede, and like they're like that.
Yeah.
Centipedes are awful.
It's true.
Is it? Am I at all capable in a position to like fully try? Like, is its ugly head just like fully reared above the water, close by?
Yeah. It's grabbing onto the side of the boat, and I'd say let's say like a fifth of it is now hanging in the air over the edge of the boat, like trying to come on board.
Okay.
And the rest of it's all grabbing the edge.
I try to jump onto it, and like try to jump onto the high point of its neck and start slashing away, like trying to cut its head off.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a mouth, does it? Like, it's got those like two shooty thingies and no mouth as far as I can see.
Like the shooty things would be its like mandibles or horns or whatever you'd want to call them, right? Like it does have an angry ass mouth.
Shooty thingies as like my handholds, like that's what I tried to grab onto.
Yeah.
Seeing as those are, you're on top. Okay, you're on it.
I'm on it fully.
I'm going to shove my hand into its mouth.
Oh no! Why?
Don't do that.
Wait.
I just kind of stare at you like now I'm inches away from you. What are you doing?
I'm feeding it.
With my padded gauntlet hand.
Okay.
So you're just like punching it in the mouth, or
I'm sticking my hand down his throat, my arm down his throat.
I just kind of lean in and I'm like, I'm trying to cut off the head. I don't want to slice your wrist.
You'll be fine. I'm stopping it from. You're on top of it with a sword. I'm stopping it from biting the boat and damaging the boat.
Rekatap's going to start from the bottom. Then you're going to start from the bottom, and now he's here.
Okay, so
he's over where?
This thing is like putting its head over the edge of the boat, and then it's met with a fist in the face, a sword in the back of the neck, and an axe from like up chopping, I guess, and it's just quickly hacked into sections. The rest of the body like slumps off the side and drops into the water. The head probably spits up some gross poison and or brains.
Oh, I'm gonna keep a hold of that. My hand's still. It's basically a head puppet for me now.
As the body falls, I quickly reach out a hand to grab kind of like the curve of the swan neck, swing myself up so that I kind of like land perched on top of the swan neck, and then like stand hand on the hip, sword in the air, and be like, "We have vanquished the foe! Well done, everyone!" And then just jump into the boat, all satisfied with myself.
Proceed to wash off my gauntlet in the water. Shake it off.
That is disgusting.
I say we burn this place down.
It's a boat.
We're in water.
We're on it.
Let's wait till we don't need it anymore.
Release our motor again, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As you guys,
water, I just like drop it in like it's a turtle, you know, like sploosh.
as you guys
well, that was
go
terrifying.
down.
We still have the head.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, the head is crocodiles. We need to name crocodile.
No, the head from the centipede.
Oh, yes, that's
because my hand was inside of its face.
And then I cut it off.
You guys spend several more days going down this river, and you know, a few things happen, but nothing crazy of note.
I do start to resent you guys a lot more, but that's mostly just because of the lack of personal space, not because you all suck.
That's fair.
Why do you need to groom in the boat?
Why don't you feel the need to groom in the boat?
Because there's a lot of us here, and I don't like leaving bits of myself flying around everywhere to get in other people's bits.
It's protein.
Excellent. Yeah, you guys, after floating for a while, you come across the river starts to open up, and it's a large lake. Like, you guys don't have a word really for this, because you would have never seen such a large body of water. And as you're, floating in this lake, to the point where you can barely just make out trees on either side of you. Like, obviously there's trees overhanging above, but you can just barely make out the shore on either side. You can start to hear like a soft rumbling as about 4 creatures start coming through the trees, and they're glowing similar to how Illudan glows. They have a soft bioluminescent coloring to them, and they're large. Like, these are leviathans. There's 4 of them, and they're long, slug-like creatures with a scaled back and what's the word I'm looking for? They have like pincer-like mandibles in front of their face. Not large pincer mandibles, but large enough that they're using them to like brush aside some of the trees and brushes in their way. And these things just come up to the water, and you can see them, drinking some water and just kind of bathing in there lightly. But again, they're 4 massive bioluminescent leviathans in front of you as you're floating in the middle of this lake.
We want to avoid that.
I'm just like, I'm looking at the crew members, counting on my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1 for each of us.
He's not wrong,
I want that one.
Using...
What?
Can I tell... Do they appear to be... From my experience on the wilds, do they appear to be meat eaters?
They are omnivores by the looks of it, but you can tell they're probably scavengers for the most part. And yeah, they don't seem to be aggressive looking. In fact, some of you might have even heard legends of bioluminescent leviathans and how they jump from the forest floor all the way up through the leaves, through the canopy, through everything to come hundreds and hundreds of feet out of the leaves and crash back down in some kind of like dance that nobody quite knows why they do it. But yeah, you've heard stories of nights where sailors have seen giant bioluminescent leviathans jumping, and it causes root quakes and canopy tidal waves crashing all around them. But these seem to be what the rumors are referring to, but no one's ever been this close to them before.
Do they look big enough that if we just say climbed on one that they would even notice because we're tiny?
I mean, probably not for the most part. Like, they might notice, like, similar if, a fly or a small creature climbed on you,
like
kind of thing.
I think I'm having a problem visualizing. How big are these?
These are large. Like, these are oil tanker size, so not cruise ship large, but these are large.
Okay, so like 50 feet long.
At least, yeah. Like, these are
okay.
bigger than a blue whale.
Okay, that's over 100 feet.
Think like Whale
Okay.
Lord.
Okay, so 4 tusked whale lords demolish their way through the forest and drink at the base of this lake.
The funny thing is when you say demolish their way through the forest, they actually don't. Like, have you ever seen or heard how a moose moves through the forest? Like, you would think that it tramples and crushes everything in its path with considering how large a moose is and their antlers, but they actually don't for the most part.
Yeah,
and
they're
these
surprisingly delicate.
Yeah, these are similar. Like, you would think that it would literally crush everything and constantly be knocking into things going through the forest, but they don't.
What are they
they're much
called?
more aware.
This one's named
there's-
Bongo.
Yeah, there's no name for them known. It's a weird rumor that floats on the Wildsea. They don't have a name.
Okay, if
Do
I
you
had to...
think that we could find a way to ride these things to the surface?
From all the legends, they don't... no one's ever been attacked by them, and they don't seem to be reacting to us.
I mean, if we just kind of gently creep onto one and then tie ourselves down real good.
As you guys are talking and thinking about this, one of them starts to like come into the water, almost like splashing around a little bit. This startles whatever you're calling your alligator, who is pulling your boat, and she quickly swims in the opposite direction, pulling you guys into a new river stream where the water's moving much quicker as you guys leave these 4 glowing leviathans behind.
No!
No, wait.
Bongo!
Okay.
Shoot my grappling hook to one of the trees and pull ourselves to shore real quick, like a swinging motion.
The branch breaks. I'm not going to give you this one. I'm sorry.
I immediately just start drawing down, like, immediately start sketching in my notebook, like, these things. I must record them. They exist.
I feel like
Dear Crit Crab.
start pulling the crocodile into the boat so that it can't drive us away.
That's fair. You pull Crocodile into the boat.
We need a name for
And
crocodile. I came up
we're
with
just-
crocodile. Someone else come up with a name.
We're just going to call it Crocodile because you guys don't know that word, so you're going to name it Crocodile with no contextual...
Excellent.
Yeah.
Co-crocodile.
Crocodile.
Crocodile.
It was on the signs in the area, and it was one of the words I was able to translate.
Yeah. Excellent. As you
Crocodile?
pick up Crocodile and put them back in the boat, the water starts moving much quicker, and you start weaving through these rapids as all of a sudden it's warmer here. Like it is getting actively warmer.
Tell me the thing didn't pee.
And no. And you can start to see
It's not that kind
light.
of podcast.
And you can start to see light above you as you realize there's fire above you. Like, fully, the canopy above you is on fire.
Well, we find the good place to climb.
What the hell is that? That can't be.
Yeah.
Are we safe?
You guys are fairly... It doesn't seem to be going too far low. It seems to get down a little ways and then kind of burn itself out. Almost. Like, almost as if there's different kind of bark or some kind of moss or something maybe growing on the trees. But it doesn't seem to get very far down. But it is burning. And it is, again, like, there's light now, and you can feel the heat coming off of this. The river moves faster for a while, and then it goes slow again, and then faster, and you guys end up spending probably a day and a half, maybe even 2 days on this river with just fire above you. And as this river kind of starts to narrow and kind of just die out, for lack of better words, like it seems to be going off into underground tunnels from what you can see, and it just kind of trickles down into the point where you can't be on the boat anymore. And there's, in this part, it looks like the fire's almost kind of like being fought, or it's lessened here. And there's a tunnel into the side of what looks like the start of a mountain. Now, you guys have never seen mountains from the ground. You've only seen mountains from the top. So you do know, like, ground can go uphill. But you've never seen such an impressive, like, sheer base of rock that goes up so far into the canopy. Like it's just a sheer cliff face, mountain face that goes, 3/4, if not all the way up, and it's just a sheer rock face. Like you've never experienced that much rock. And you guys, there's a tunnel there, and it seems to be leading upwards. And you're drawn to it. You want to explore this tunnel.
Instincts haven't led me wrong so far, looking around. Ready to go into the belly of another beast?
We shall forge ahead.
Oh, I thought that was rhetorical. I load my crossbow and trundle along.
Grab the harness for our new friend and proceed to push Illidan in front of us because she's our torch.
Excellent. And as you guys enter this tunnel going up the mountain, I was Ian the Firefly.
I was Austin the Drock.
I'm Bev, Illidan.
I'm Dylan, Nick Attack the Celicrae.
Oh,
And Jonathan existed as... Oh, no, I heard him laugh.
Oh,
He does
It's
exist.
your turn.
I'm Jonathan.
I was literally about to be like, and Jonathan existed. And then
And then he's giggling because he's like, nobody's talking, but it's supposed to be him.
It's 1 in the morning and I'm sleepy.
That's fair. And Jonathan was asleep. We were sponsored by nobody. Signing off.